Hi everyone, welcome back to my music room and our third instalment of the lockdown choir. We're deep into the lockdown now, and we've gathered more and more people in this choir and ensemble, and we've made two really stunningly beautiful videos that seem to be touching and moving people all across the internet and across the world. Love Alone came out yesterday. It was so good, so good. So thank you everyone who's been involved. Thanks all you singers. It's just so moving to me when I get my phone ping and in comes a video, and it's like you guys are interacting with my music that just happens in my head, goes onto paper, and all over the world we're coming together and we're making something great. So I'm going to introduce you the third movement that we're going to do now, which is called Noogenesis, which is like a word from this philosopher Teilhard de Chardin. It's the birth of thought, and it's in our evolution as we begin to reflect on the fact that we are thinking and reflecting and evolving. It's changed the way that we relate to each other and to our experience of being in the world. And the whole thing of his philosophy, this is really, really beautiful for now, is because it's the further we go outwards, the further we spread ourselves out, the more we kind of come together and embrace, because the world is a sphere. If it was just flat, the further we would go out, then we'd get further and further away from each other and become isolated. But with this, the further we go outwards, because we're on a sphere, we come and connect with each other and join with each other, and it becomes this like embracing thing. So even though we're all stuck in isolation, I feel like in our minds and in our spirits and in our communication and our connection, we're going into ourselves more, which is really good. And then through that we're going out to each other and reaching out in beautiful ways that aren't physical ways. So this is a really great movement for that. The words are quite simple: outspreading, outfolding, outspreading, outfolding, infolding, embracing. It's just simple enough. So I'm going to try and teach it to you now. Now we're going to be the last two movements we've done, we've been in two parts. Basically men who sing a bit lower and women who sing a bit higher. So those have been a bit easier. Now we're going to be a 4-part choir, which is the traditional way of doing choir. Soprano, which is the high notes. So if you're a higher voiced woman, girl, singer, you probably will be a soprano, so you can choose that. Then the altos, which is a little bit of a lower female voice. These ones. Then there's the tenors, which is like a higher men's voice. A bit like what I am. And then there's the basses, really important, the low voice. So you just need to work out where your voice comfortably sits. Are you a lower man? Are you a slightly higher man? A lower woman or a higher woman? Then you can fit them in. Some men sing countertenor, which is like a very high man one, but don't worry about that for now. Those ones are the special guys. There's not many of them around. Okay, so this movement, I'm going to show you how it works. Now, the way it works is the melody is sort of like following the words. Outspreading, outfolding, gets wider, and then it comes back in, infolding, embracing. And the whole thing begins with the musicians. So I've made this backing track, and I've actually made 4 backing tracks to make it easy for you. One for the basses, one for the tenors, one for the altos, and one for the sopranos. Again, my backing tracks are made with sample library instruments, and I've got this kind of choir-y sound. Anyway, you'll hear at the beginning, there's a click track again, which you'll hear in your ears, which keeps us in time together. And the whole thing begins with
instruments 2,
me talking,
3, 4, 5,
and then there's this
6.
instrumental, which goes on for a little 4 bars of 6. And then the altos come in, and you'll hear the altos. Yeah. So that sound is the sound of you guys. Well, you're going to be much better. So I'm just going to teach you the line. So the altos sing this. Outspreading, outfolding, outspreading, outfolding, infolding, embracing. So that's the alto line. I sang it an octave lower, but my piano was the right one. I can't sing high. And then there's the music again. And then the sopranos join the altos, and they kind of do this spreading, outfolding thing. So the sopranos, altos, you just do the same thing again, okay? And the sopranos on top are going to go like this. Outspreading, outfolding, outspreading, outfolding, infolding, embracing. Okay, and you do that with the altos underneath. And then there's music again for a bar, and then the basses come in. Outspreading, outfolding, outspreading, outfolding, outfolding, infolding, embracing. So you come in there, you'll hear it all. And finally the tenors join. So the others are, every time they come back in, there's always a bar of instruments that separates them. So first of all altos, then altos and sopranos, then altos, sopranos and basses, and then a bar, and then finally tenors join. And tenors go outspreading, outfolding, infolding, embracing. Now, when you do these with the thing, with the thingy, MP3, I've made it just so that only your track has the sample voice, and you won't hear the other voices. Say you're doing tenors, you won't hear sopranos, altos, or basses, because sometimes they are very close in harmony. I think it would be easier for everyone just to sing their own part with the track in their head, get it really in tune and in time, and then I will piece them all together and you'll hear them. Maybe I'll make one that has everyone, and you can listen to that too if you want, just to hear it. But I would recommend using I'll put that on there as well. Now, then there's loads of beautiful instrumental music and a reading over the top, which Patsy's going to do. Fantastic. And then you'll hear me count in. Now, the next bit just says, and Earth by the same token seems to shrink. The more we go out with our internet and with our communication, Earth shrinks. It's amazing. Some of you guys are in Canada, in Australia, friends from so long ago, and the Earth is shrinking. We're connecting again. So it comes in like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Earth. So it's right at the end of that bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and Earth. Like that. Okay. You'll hear it, me counting as well. Hopefully we can get this right. So, sopranos, you do this. And Earth by the same token seems to shrink. Okay? Altos, you do this. And Earth by the same token seems to shrink. So you're quite close, but you end on the same note. Tenors, you're on an E. And Earth by the same token seems to shrink. You end on an A. And then basses, you just stay on an A, okay? And Earth by the same token seems to shrink. Okay? Then there's another reading. And then I count you in again. Up 6, you'll hear 4, 5, 6, because that bar is a little bit stretched out because we have to fit the reading in. And the words are owing to the world of thought, to the grand phenomenon of reflection, which is great. So sopranos do this: 4, 5, 6. Owing to the world of thought, rest. to the grand phenomenon of reflection. Altos, you're on a C. Owing to the world of thought, rest, to the grand phenomenon of reflection. Okay. Tenors, you're on an A. Owing to the world of thought, rest, to the grand phenomenon of reflection. Fleck and shun are both 3 beat notes. Finally, basses. On a low A. Low. Can I go low? Yeah. Owing to the world of thought, rest, to the grand phenomenon of reflection. Off. Okay, so that's everything. It's probably worth practicing this one a little bit, because it's a little bit tricky. But give it a go. Again, put it in your headphones, film it on your phone, send it to me as you've been doing, to my email address, which is in the link, and let's try, I don't know, maybe we can try and get them done in a week. That'd be cool, because it's going forward amazingly, and I'll get the musicians working, and we'll see if we can make Noogenesis, the birth of thought, happen. Okay, hope everyone's well. See you all. Look forward to getting all your videos. This is making me really happy. I hope it's making you happy too. Bye for now.